Welcome to the Ask Donna Advocacy in Action podcast, hosted by Donna J. Jodhan, a world-renowned advocate, author, blogger, sight loss coach, dinner mystery writer, and producer, entrepreneur, law graduate, and podcast commentator. Drawing on her vast experience, Donna is here to guide you through the world of advocacy, showing you how to be an effective and powerful advocate in your everyday life. In this podcast, you'll learn what advocacy truly means, how it's used, why it's essential, who uses it, and when to apply it, whether for simple tasks or major challenges. Advocacy is not for the faint of heart, but is something that everyone can practice. Success comes through persistence, patience, and unwavering commitment. Tune in and discover how to make advocacy part of your daily life.
Hello, and I am Donna J. Jodhan, your host for the Ask Donna Advocacy in Action, June 2025. Before I start today's or this month's Advocacy in Action podcast, I got something very funny to tell you. I previously recorded this podcast, but for some reason it disappeared on me. I don't know where it went to. So I am re-recording it, and hopefully this time I will be able to keep track of it and make sure it does not disappear. Okay? I hope everybody is having a great month thus far. Summer is here. Spring has just left us. And it was a very interesting spring, a mixed bag of really nice weather, really great weather, but we also had some April showers that brought May flowers. So, I thank everybody for continuing to drop in to listen to me, to share your thoughts, your comments, your feedback, and everything else with me. And your suggestions. Thank you very much, everybody. Listenership is increasing, readership is increasing, and please remember, whenever you wish to have any of the parts of my podcast sent to you, do not hesitate to reach out to me at donnajodhan@gmail.com or ask Donna on blindlife@gmail.com. Okay? It is very difficult to listen and take notes at the same time, but please don't worry. Just put in the subject line that you're looking for this month's show notes, and I'll be more than happy to send it along to you. Okay? I found this quotation, and I'd like to start each of my podcasts with this quotation because it is so meaningful to me. It made an impression on me the minute someone sent it to me. I read it, I thought about it, and here we go. Okay? Here we go. Speak in such a way that others love to listen to you. Listen in such a way that others love to speak to you. This means the world to me, and I'm sharing this quote with you, and I will share it with you at the beginning of each of my monthly podcasts. Okay. Hello, Michael, my little brother in Montreal. I hope you're doing good, sir. June is here, and I wish you and your wonderful wife, Heather, a great summer. So, let's start with the ETSY announcement. Please visit me at www.etsy, that's etsy.com/shop/blindlybrilliant. And there you would see my pottery pieces, piece by piece, why I am engaged heavily in pottery, what I hope to obtain, Okay, I hope to motivate others to create pottery pieces. I am doing this not just to sell my pottery, but I'm doing it in support of my Transitioning to a New World initiative. And what's this all about? It's an initiative to help youngsters leaving high school or preparing to leave high school, and those young adults who are presently in search of new careers or a career. And I want to help them create, imagine, motivate, and inspire them to reach for the stars, reach for the sky, reach for the blue horizon, beyond the blue horizon. Let's help create a better and brighter future for the kids of the future. Right? So you can visit www.etsy.com/shop/blindlybrilliant, or you can go to www.accesspark.shop. Okay? There you'll see my pottery pieces. Okay. Here is my philosophy, and I hope that I am on the right track. But I have been an advocate since year 2000, and this seems to have what has worked for me. Okay? Advocacy has no color, no shape, and no size. Advocacy has no limit, no guarantee, and no expectation. Advocacy can only be successful through hard work and persistence. That is my philosophy. Now for my inspirational message for the month of June. As we step into June, remember that this month is an opportunity to grow, a fresh opportunity to grow, okay? Shine and embrace new possibilities. The days are longer. The warmth of the sun invites you to step outside of your comfort zone, and nature is in full bloom. Just like the potential within you. Let this be a month of bold steps, okay? Of small victories, and of trusting that each day holds the promise of progress. Whatever your goals may be, keep moving forward. June is a month, or is a reminder, that with patience, perseverance, and belief in yourself, there is no limit to what you can achieve. Please make this month count, and let your actions reflect the dreams that you hold in your heart. The world is simply waiting for your light to shine. Okay? That's my inspirational message of the month. So what is advocacy in action all about? Advocacy is not for the faint of heart. I've always said this. And what is advocacy? We should not be afraid of advocacy. We should think of advocacy as a way to enrich and enhance our confidence and our independence. And it is a way for us to increase both our personal and our professional profiles. This is what I think advocacy is all about. Okay? Advocacy is when we speak up and speak out. Very synonymous in words. Speaking up and speaking out. Okay? You speak up and you speak out about something that is of interest to you, a passion or a dream. Okay? You engage with others. You engage with your thoughts. You engage with your passions, your dreams, and your interests. You communicate all of this to those around you, including your friends, your family, your associates, and those that you don't even know. Then you reach out. Reach out to anyone and everyone around you. Don't be afraid. Okay? And who gets involved in advocacy? As the Christmas song says, from those from 2 to 92, as Frank Sinatra would sing in his song Merry Christmas. Anyone from ages 2 to 92. Okay? So, anyone or any age. From the kid who is just a toddler, advocating to his mom and dad or her mom and dad for something that they really would like to have. Be it a toy, be it a game, be it something that they would like to do. To the preteen, who is also advocating to their parents and their teachers. To the high school student, who's advocating to their teachers and to their friends that they would like to see improvements in the classroom, improvements at the cafeteria, improvements on the playground, less bullying and more friendly activities. The college or university student also advocating for better online facilities, greater access and usability of online systems, greater access and usability to online texts, things like that. The professional who wants to see improvements to their workplace, a healthier workplace, a cleaner workplace, a bigger workplace if possible, better engagements and communications with fellow workers and with managers. The unemployed person looking for their next career, looking to find another job, they advocate for things that they would like to see, better services. Okay? The mom who's advocating not just for herself, but for her children. And the same for dad, doing the same thing, advocating for their kids to have better access to, say, sporting facilities or entertainment for children, or better access to healthier foods. How about that? The single parent who would like or who is advocating for their kids to have equal access to supplies and to services. Okay? The semi-retiree getting ready for retirement. They want to have better access to services when they retire. And the retiree may be getting ready to enter a long-term care facilities, advocating to their family to help them ensure that the home of their future when they leave their beloved home will be one that they will enjoy. And the senior doing the same thing, advocating to their family and their loved ones to help them ensure that long-term care facilities are adequate, usable, and accessible, and they're also advocating to their members of parliament for the same thing, and health authorities. The person with a disability who has to advocate or needs to advocate almost every day of their lives to ensure that their rights are protected, are recognized, and that they are entitled to the rights just like everybody else. Why is advocacy necessary? Advocacy is necessary to raise issues, to raise awareness, to help train others, okay? To campaign, to petition. And how do you campaign and petition? You do it through several different means. You campaign on social media, you petition on social media, you petition face-to-face, virtually. You do the same thing with your campaigning. To change existing situations, or to, make a new situation. So you could change an existing situation, or you create a new type of situation. You create something new. All right? And how do you get involved in advocacy? Easy. You could start by doing it on your own, as I did many years ago. It's not an easy thing, but most times it is where advocacy starts or begins, on your own. You do it with others. You do it with groups. You do it with agencies for and of persons with disabilities. You do it on social media. Okay? You do it through podcasts by interviewing others and have others interview you. Through blogs, articles, and editorials, if you like to write, use your writing skills to create blogs, articles, and editorials. And do it through press releases. Do it through interviews, through roundtables. Create roundtables for stakeholders with common issues. Be the facilitator or be part of the roundtable. Very effective way. Or you can go to conferences, make your opinions known, give presentations, spread the word about what you are interested in and how others could become involved as well. Do it through town halls, face-to-face town halls, or virtual town halls. Okay? When do you get involved in advocacy? When it either affects you directly or when it affects others that you care about. When you have a concern or a passion, or when you have a dream or an interest. This is what advocacy is all about. Now to pick your battle. How do you do this? You think of which one is most achievable to you. Okay? Which one would most excite or interest you? This is how you go about picking your battle. Which one would bring you most satisfaction, do you think? Which one will make you most happy? And think of the length of time that it could or would take to achieve success in your battle. Remember this, you don't always win every battle, but you try to win as many as you can, logically, practically, and doing it in your time, doing it when you are comfortable doing it. Think of the amount of resources that you're going to need. Okay? And how do you plan your strategy? through well-founded, well-meaning, and well-thought-out research. Research is the building block, the cornerstone to any successful type of advocacy. You have to think of who to contact when you start your journey of advocacy. What method are you going to use? What message are you going to convey? And you must follow up. Don't just put it out there and hope and pray that someone is going to catch it or that you're going to catch the attention of someone. It doesn't happen like that. You have to follow up persistently. Now I'm going to go on to a word game that most of us serious advocates often play. I'm going to give you two sets of word games to think about, or two sets of words for this month. Probable versus improbable. How probable could your advocacy adventure be? How improbable could it or would it be? This is what you need to think about before you enter into any type of advocacy. And how about this? Success or failure? Again, closely related to probable versus improbable. Success or failure? Success could only come through hard work, and success could only come through positive thinking. If you think that you're not going to be successful, or that failure is going to be there instead of success, you might as well not enter into your potential advocacy adventure. Okay? Now I'm going to share 3 different stories of the month with you. Stories that I've gathered over the years from friends, associates, and family, and from my own experiences. Okay? Here's the first story. All right? Invitation to a kid's party. And here's the story. This little girl was not invited to a kid's party because she was in a wheelchair. She went and told her mom. She was in tears. She was upset. At first, her mom accepted this because she didn't know what else to do. But when the little girl had started to cry and said that she wanted to go to the party, her mom took action. Her mom spoke to the parent of the little girl having the party. The parent had not even known that her little girl had not invited the other little girl in a wheelchair to the party. Both parents had a very meaningful chat. Both kids were called in to a room, and the parent of the girl who did not invite the other little girl was spoken to in a very kind, generous, and quiet manner. Okay? And all was resolved after a while. Of course, both kids learned a lot through this advocacy adventure. What is advocacy in this case? Advocacy in this case is when parents and kids eventually got together to solve a problem. And who got involved in advocacy? Parents and children. Why was it necessary? Because something needed to be addressed. The little girl in the wheelchair wanted to go to this party, and so she wanted to have her desires known to her parent. Her parent went to the other parent, and the matter was satisfactorily resolved. Both kids learned a heck of a lot from this whole advocacy adventure. How do you get involved in advocacy in this case? through collaboration, engagement, and reaching out. And when do you get involved in advocacy? When something is affecting you. Here comes the second story of the month that I have chosen for you. Okay. Exclusion from a field trip. And here's the story. This student was denied going on a field trip because he was vision impaired. The teacher had first said no to the student because the field trip was all about going to a zoo. And the teacher felt that the kid would not, or the student would not benefit from going to the zoo. That was not very, I wouldn't say nice, but it was pretty naive. At first, the parent of the student spoke to the teacher, who declined to change their mind. The parent then went to the principal, who backed up the teacher. The parent then went up the ladder to the school board and also went out and spoke to other parents who supported this parent. The school board, of course, was first reluctant, but eventually changed its mind. Okay? So, what is advocacy? Advocacy is advocating for a student with a vision impairment to be able to go on a field trip. And who gets involved in advocacy? Students, parents, school boards, teachers. Why is it necessary? Because we want our student to be able to go on a field trip. Okay? And how do you get involved in advocacy? By reaching out, engaging, and communicating. When do you do it? When you are directly affected. Okay? And here comes the third story that I have chosen for this month. Okay? Denial of submission to a senior's home. And here's the story. This particular patient was hard of hearing, and the senior's home had said that they could not accept this patient because they did not have any trained staff, and they wouldn't change their minds. The family would not give up. They went to their federal and the provincial MPs and wrote letters to the appropriate authorities. It took almost 2 years before this particular piece of advocacy was rectified. So what is advocacy in this case? Advocacy is advocating for a patient to be given admission to a senior's home. Who gets involved in advocacy? The patient themselves, their family, and their MPs. Why is it necessary? Because the patient wants admission to a senior's home, despite being told that there is no staff there that is trained to help them. How do you do it? You get others engaged and involved in it. When do you get involved? Because this issue directly affects the patient and then the family of the patient. Okay? All right. I'm going to end my podcast with a bit of this and a bit of that from Donna's Did You Know Diary for the month of June. And you can get a copy of all this by sending me an inquiry to to either donnajodhan@gmail.com or ask Donna on blindlife@gmail.com. Okay? I will send you a copy, an electronic copy of my show notes for the month of June or any other month. Just put in the subject line what you would like me to send to you. So for June 2025, here we go. All right. So, these tips are practical and natural, and they are logical. Okay? Here's what I learned for this month. Okay? How do you make sure that your food warms evenly in a microwave? Spread out your food evenly on your plate or your bowl or your dish. This is how you ensure that your food warms evenly in your microwave. Number 2, when you are unplugging your device, make sure that you grab the end closest to the device. Do not grab it from, grab it at the very end, where the connector goes into the device, and pull gently on it. Don't grab it from the cord. Not a very good idea. Don't pull it out by the cord. Okay? Number 3, what exactly is kale? Kale is a type of cabbage, but it tastes much better than cabbage. Number 4, what exactly is pork belly? I love pork belly, and oh yes, this is what pork belly is. Pork belly is nothing but sliced bacon. When you bake pork belly, the skin turns to crackling. Number 5, what is this about your video doorbell? Here goes. According to experts, criminals now have the ability to monitor your video doorbell. They have the ability to infiltrate your doorbell, and they can monitor your daily routine, who comes and who goes. And you need to make sure that your video doorbell is able to thwart those potential intruders. Number 6, and here are some tips on fishing for you, especially for the month of June. Listen up. For the average person out for a fishing trip, okay, if you cast your line into the water, it does not mean that you're going to naturally catch a fish. No! We can follow the fishing rules by attaching a sinker to the hook to make sure that the hook sinks deeply below the surface of the water. You gotta keep quiet and thread the worm on the hook completely. And don't throw things in the water that will disturb the fish. Very, very important. Number 7, if you'd like to get the most accurate reading from your bathroom scale, here's what you do. Place your scale on a bare floor and not on a carpet, okay? If you place your scale on the carpet, it shows a lower reading, believe it or not. I learned this the hard way, gosh. Number 8, sitting in a window seat on a plane. you are exposed to more sun rays. Number 9, keep these indicators in mind the next time you think you're having a heart attack. First, you're sweating. Secondly, you're having chest pains. Thirdly, you are nauseous. If you have any or all of these indicators, you're probably having a heart attack. Take 2 aspirins, 2 baby aspirins, but before you do that, call 911. Okay? Number 10, and the final tip for this month, if you're having problems cleaning your eyelashes, here's what you do. Gently wash it with some baby shampoo. Those are my 10 tips for the month of June. This is my podcast for the month of June. You guys have a great rest of the day, a great rest of the week, a great rest of the month. Enjoy your summer. You guys take care, stay safe, and I'll see you next month. I'm Donna J. Jodhan.
Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Ask Donna, Advocacy in Action. Donna truly appreciates your time and support. Remember, your thoughts, comments, and feedback are always welcome. Just send them over to donnajodhan@gmail.com. Remember, together we can keep making a difference. Until next time, stay safe, stay strong, and keep advocating.